In this book review, you will discover the art of prioritizing the crucial aspects of your life. Imagine a 4-hour workweek, a concept that seems like an enchanting fantasy. Instead of laboring for 40 hours weekly, picture only investing 4 hours of your time. The best part? You're not sacrificing income. Rather, you're earning in a month what others make in a year. This paradigm shift grants you the freedom and flexibility to savor life now, rather than toiling at a desk for several decades before retirement. While it may sound too good to be true, perhaps reserved for the exceptionally fortunate, it's not a mere dream. According to Tim Ferriss, there's a blueprint that anyone, including you, can follow to make this a reality. So, if you're ready to take action, let's transform 40 hours into 4. Throughout this summary, you'll discover how the 80-20 principle can work to your advantage, strategies for establishing a passive income stream, where to find inspiration to guide your journey. For those aspiring to be part of the new rich, wealth is defined by immediate luxury. If you find yourself working a demanding 40-hour week, perhaps even more, constantly fatigued and stressed, yearning for an escape from the daily grind but feeling trapped, this is for you. There exists a blueprint for breaking free from the 9-to-5, a formula we'll delve into in these summaries. Before we unravel the formula, let's discuss the destination of this escape and how the author reached it. The objective is to join the new rich, a subculture marked by mobility and financial freedom, unburdened by constraints, deciding their locations and activities. They recognize that the optimal moment to live your dreams, to truly embrace life, is now. But how do you achieve this? How do you fully live your dreams and your life in the present? Here's what the new rich have figured out: you only need 2 things: more freedom and more free time. What many associate with millionaires, extensive travels, lavish hobbies, maybe even a butler, essentially boil down to 2 elements: increased freedom and more free time. And you can attain these without a fortune in your bank account. So, the goal is clear: attain more freedom, acquire more free time, and become part of the new rich. The author stumbled upon both these elements somewhat accidentally in 2004. He found himself in a situation akin to yours, overworked, exhausted, experiencing burnout, and compelled to take a break. However, this break turned out to be a blessing. During this time off, he discovered he could run a profitable business from anywhere with minimal effort. And just like that, he became a member of the new rich. It may sound like magic, but it's not. Remember, to lead a life of luxury, all you need are 2 things: more freedom and more free time. These are the prerequisites for doing whatever you want, whenever you want, and from wherever you want, and none of it can be achieved through a standard 40-hour workweek. Now, let's explore that formula, the one that will grant you all the freedom and free time you could ever desire. Redefine the concepts of wealth and happiness. The prescribed formula is known as the DEAL formula, which breaks down into 1. Definition, 2. Elimination, 3. Automation, 4. Liberation. Let's begin with the first component, definition, D. Already, we've initiated a process of redefining certain terms. Wealth, for instance, is not merely about amassing millions in the bank. It involves engaging in activities typical of millionaires, emphasizing the ability to do what they do. In essence, true wealth lies not in the accumulation of money but in the freedom and free time to pursue desired activities, such as extended stays on tropical islands, spontaneous skydiving, or simply spending more time with family. Another term that needs a fresh definition is happiness. While many claim that their life goal is happiness, its meaning requires clarification. According to the author, happiness is not the opposite of sadness but of boredom. Therefore, the most fitting definition of happiness is excitement. Genuine happiness is derived from dedicating time to activities that genuinely excite you. For the author, this translated into pursuits like travel, achieving kickboxing mastery, and setting a tango world record. Your path to happiness may differ, but the crucial point is that traditional markers like homeownership, prestigious job titles, or a sizable retirement fund won't guarantee happiness unless they align with activities that genuinely excite you. Given that happiness isn't a distant objective contingent on amassing wealth or possessions, and that true wealth isn't synonymous with accumulating vast sums of money, the focus shifts from maximizing earnings to maximizing free time, time in which you can engage in the activities that bring excitement and joy. This transition leads us to the E in the DEAL formula: elimination. Save time by applying the 80/20 principle and eliminating unproductive tasks. Now, let's dive into the process of elimination. If your experience is anything like the author's, approximately 80% of your work output stems from just 20% of your effort. This phenomenon, known as the 80/20 principle, often goes unnoticed in the workplace due to the standard 8-hour workday. Many employees, constrained by this time frame, prioritize busyness over productivity, organizing inboxes, fiddling with phones, and engaging in seemingly purposeful activities. Unfortunately, in many workplaces, the appearance of busyness often takes precedence, and the busiest person may receive the most recognition, even if the majority of their activities are ultimately unproductive. However, about 80% of this activity is usually futile. Spending more time on work doesn't necessarily mean addressing the right tasks or doing them effectively. In fact, it often leads to the contrary. According to Parkinson's law, the more time available for a task, the more time will be consumed by it. For instance, if given an hour to complete a project report, it will take an hour, but if granted the entire afternoon, the task may extend to fill the entire 4 hours. To enhance productivity, it's crucial to identify and prioritize the 20% of tasks that contribute to 80% of the results. This requires eliminating tasks and activities that don't align with personal goals. To identify these crucial tasks, assess each one on your to-do list by asking, would I be satisfied if this were the only task I completed today? If the answer is no, consider it for elimination. Particularly watch out for interruptions, especially time-wasting activities. Time wasters are tasks that can be ignored without negative consequences, such as web surfing, responding to unimportant emails, and unnecessary phone calls and meetings. Eliminate all time wasters, starting with tactics for managing email. Begin by reading and responding to emails only twice a day, once in the afternoon and once in the evening. If possible, progress to handling emails just once a day or even once a week. Communicate this change to friends, family, and colleagues with an auto-response explaining the limited email time to improve service. Let them know that urgent matters can be addressed through direct communication. By allowing smaller tasks to accumulate and dealing with them collectively, you save time and reduce interruptions that hinder more critical work. While these strategies significantly enhance productivity, achieving a 4-hour workweek also involves freeing yourself from the physical location your work ties you to, a topic we'll explore in the next section. Even regular office employees can embrace the new rich lifestyle. Having implemented half of the DEAL formula in your work life by redefining goals and eliminating time-consuming activities, particularly with regard to email management, the next step for employees is liberation from the office. This transforms the formula into the somewhat less memorable DELA formula. If you're not an employee, you can skip this section. For employees seeking to break free from the office, the process involves 5 crucial steps. 1. Increase your value to the company. 2. Prove increased output when working remotely. 3. Quantify the business benefit. 4. Propose a trial period. 5. Expand the time you work remotely. To illustrate how this process unfolds, let's consider the example of Sherwood, who aspires to dedicate more time to his side business of selling sailor shirts on eBay. Here's how he successfully disappeared from the office. Firstly, Sherwood makes himself indispensable by seeking additional training to better serve the company's clients. This enhances his value to the employer, making it more likely for them to grant him certain liberties, such as the ability to work from home. Simultaneously, Sherwood conducts a discreet test by calling in sick on Tuesday and Wednesday, opting for these days to avoid the appearance of a 3-day weekend excuse. During these days, he meticulously tracks his work output with quantifiable records and an email trail, intentionally doubling his productivity due to the absence of office-related distractions. With tangible evidence in hand, Sherwood creates a proposal demonstrating how his remote work would benefit the company, highlighting increased productivity without the commute and fewer distractions. He then proposes a revocable trial period, working from home 1 day per week for 2 weeks, an offer accepted by his employer. During this trial period, Sherwood ensures his productivity doubles compared to office days, providing further proof of the benefits of his remote work. With this evidence, he gradually increases his remote work days until he's successfully working from home every day. The added productivity becomes a compelling argument, allowing Sherwood the flexibility to work from anywhere in the world. Establish a business that operates on autopilot without requiring your direct involvement. It's time to delve into automation, the A in the deal formula. Automation is pivotal if you aim to separate the time you spend working from the money you earn. By creating automated income streams that can be managed from any location globally, you, like the contemporary new rich, can lead the kind of life you desire, generating income without being tethered to constant work. To build an automated revenue stream, you need to construct a business that operates seamlessly without your active engagement. It essentially runs itself. Instead of personally overseeing product distribution, consider partnering with a company for distribution and hiring an agency to maintain your website. Your involvement in this setup should be minimal, mainly focused on reviewing reports from service providers and intervening only when necessary. To ensure smooth operations in your absence, 1. Facilitate independent communication. Everyone involved should have the autonomy to communicate directly with each other without the need for you to relay messages. 2. Delegate responsibilities. Entrust as much responsibility as possible to those handling tasks. This empowers them to resolve issues without requiring your input or approval, saving you significant time and providing greater freedom. Now, who should handle these responsibilities? One viable option is hiring virtual assistants. Virtual assistants can be contracted from various locations, including Canada, India, Poland, and more. The person's location matters less than their skills. According to the author's experience, virtual assistants from India are often more cost-effective while being equally competent, if not superior, to their counterparts from English-speaking regions. If cost concerns linger, consider factoring in the value of the time saved. For instance, if you earn $25 per hour and a suitable assistant costs $30 per hour, the effective cost to you is $5 for every hour of work the assistant takes over. This means you could enjoy an entire Friday off for a cost of just $40. Finding the right virtual assistant might involve some trial and error. Seek input from others regarding their experiences, and don't be discouraged if the first one doesn't perfectly fit your needs. Ideal virtual assistants exist, and the effort to find them is well worthwhile. You require a muse to drive your automated income. Certainly, to establish an automated income stream and create the framework to sustain it, you need a product to offer. This could be an existing product that you choose to redistribute, akin to Sherwood and his sailor shirts. However, reselling an existing product typically involves narrower profit margins. It's more advantageous to design your own product, something that can generate maximum revenue with minimal effort on your part. But how do you go about it? The most effective approach is to explore markets familiar to you and brainstorm product ideas based on your insights. To distinguish your venture from a traditional startup, which isn't your objective, let's label your most promising idea as your muse. Unlike a startup, your muse doesn't require your direct management. After all, your goal isn't to become a hands-on entrepreneur dealing with strategy meetings, leadership responsibilities, and managerial tasks. Instead, you aim to establish an automated revenue stream. An ideal muse often lies within a niche that demands minimal time and upfront financial investment to commence. For instance, Sherwood identified a profitable niche in reselling sailor shirts without any initial capital. Similarly, the author founded an internet company in 2001 for the dietary supplement BrainQuicken and achieved substantial financial success with minimal time commitment. Regardless of your muse's nature, it's crucial to surpass the competition and convey to potential customers why you are the best choice. You can establish credibility through indicators like a PhD. If time constraints prevent pursuing advanced degrees, demonstrate expertise through alternative means such as attending seminars or conducting thorough research using relevant textbooks and online resources. You don't need to be the ultimate expert. Your goal is to outshine competitors and persuade customers effectively. Evaluate the market before developing your product. So, how can you be certain that your product, your muse, will resonate with customers? The most effective way to find out is to ask people to buy it, the ultimate and essential test. You need to present your hypothetical product to real customers and observe their reactions. Consider our example of Sherwood, the entrepreneur selling shirts. Before making his initial purchase of sailor shirts, he listed them on eBay, indicating to potential buyers that the product could only be back-ordered. Although this was not entirely truthful, it served as a method for Sherwood to gauge actual demand. Once he had an idea of potential sales, he placed his first order. After selling 12 shirts in just 5 days, he progressively increased his orders, closely monitoring demand. His sales continued to rise, eventually leading him to contemplate leaving his other job. Another example is Johanna, a yoga teacher who devised a muse inspired by the increasing number of climbing enthusiasts attending her classes. After confirming that no similar product existed, she decided to create a DVD with a specialized yoga course for climbers. Johanna set up a website featuring testimonials from her students and ran Google AdWords ads. Analyzing click and conversion rates enabled her to assess demand and identify effective search terms. Once armed with this data and reasonably confident in her muse's potential success, Johanna produced the DVD and commenced distribution. Sales surpassed expectations, with the initial production costs and the $250 spent on testing recouped within the first week. Currently, she sells a solid 10 DVDs per week, generating a profit of $750, a commendable outcome for her initial muse venture. Establish a premium price and make a compelling commitment. Assuming you're following the example of entrepreneurs like Sherwood and Johanna and have confirmed a demand for your product, there are key factors to consider in its design to ensure success. Firstly, you should be able to articulate the product's purpose in a single sentence. Similar to Apple's iPod launch in 2001, which was succinctly conveyed with the slogan, 1,000 songs in your pocket. Secondly, streamline the decision-making process for customers by minimizing options. Offering an extensive array of colors and designs may overwhelm customers and discourage purchases, as the process of comparing options becomes exhausting. Thirdly, attract the right customer base by setting a premium price point, ideally ranging between $50 and $200. This not only enhances the product's image but also boosts profit margins while reducing the likelihood of complaints. The rationale is that customers willing to invest significantly are less prone to complain if the product falls short of expectations. They have disposable income and may not be bothered enough by the loss to raise concerns. Lastly, your product should make a significant promise and fulfill that commitment. Take Domino's Pizza, for instance, which guarantees delivery in 30 minutes or less, and if they fail, your pizza is free. This is a substantial promise consistently upheld. Similarly, the author's product, Body Quick, pledged that within 60 minutes of the first dose, it was 110% guaranteed to work. This meant that if results weren't evident within an hour of the initial dose, the author would refund the product price and send a check for 10% of that amount. Bold promises demonstrate the seriousness about your product and instill added confidence in potential customers, encouraging them to make a purchase. Final summary. The central message of this book advocates breaking free from the traditional work grind and embracing the new rich lifestyle to enjoy life immediately instead of waiting for retirement. The process involves redefining goals, concentrating efforts on the most impactful tasks, freeing oneself from the office, and automating income through tested muses. By adopting these practices, individuals can move closer to the lifestyle they've always desired. Actionable advice includes creating a dream plan by listing desired achievements in the next 6 months and estimating the associated monthly costs. Whether it involves acquiring a sports car, learning a new language, or hiring a personal assistant, calculate the monthly expenses. With this information, determine a monthly target income, providing a tangible goal to strive for in realizing one's dream life. Thank you for embarking on this journey of knowledge and inspiration with us. If you found value in our insights and seek more wisdom from the world's most impactful books, consider supporting our channel. Please don't hesitate to like, share, and subscribe to one of the finest book summary channels on the web. By doing so, you'll stay tuned for a continuous stream of uplifting, thought-provoking summaries that propel you into action. Let's embark on this quest for growth and enlightenment together. Happy reading, learning, and growing.